It's Wednesday, April 14th, and today we're going to talk about vaccines. You're listening to Fight Knows About Everything, a Night Shift Radio original. For more information, visit nightshiftradio.com. Hello everyone, I'm Michael Fight. Thank you so much for watching and listening. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We have videos come out pretty much every day. I put out 3 a week, specifically for Fight Knows About Everything, and then Never Heard of It puts out a video on Thursday and Sunday. So that means every day except for Saturday, you get in a video. And Tuesday? Yeah, no videos on Tuesday. Tuesday and Saturdays are your day off. You're welcome. But anyways, and again, for those of you listening on your podcast player of choice, thank you very much. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. That's a button. Apparently, I said subscribe. But other than that, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating and review. It's very, very helpful. And last plug, don't forget to sign up for the Night Shift Media Group mailing list. We just sent out, we send out one a week that just recaps the week of all the things that have happened and gone on, including things like for this update, Never Heard of It, Second Edition 1, Superpod Hero Cast, the Storyteller series, Left of the Dial, all of our great, great shows. So definitely check that out. And last week, we actually sent out a sneak preview of one of the characters from our new animated series, Show 17 for Humans, which is coming soon. But today, we are here to talk about science and vaccines. Now, I do want to preface, I am not a scientist or somebody who studies vaccines. I think it's epidemiology. That's viral things. I'm here to simply talk about the most recent claim and from the FDA and the CDC of pulling the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We are going to talk just about that, and we're going to talk about the statistics behind it and the statements made by Dr. Fauci. So just the other day, Johnson & Johnson and the CDC have sent out a message basically saying they are putting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on hold. Now, the Johnson & Johnson one is one of 3 vaccines that are currently available in the United States. We have the Janssen, which is Johnson & Johnson. We have the Moderna and the Pfizer. Now, the Johnson & Johnson one is the unique among the 3 because it's the only one that requires only one shot. It is a one-shot vaccine. Now, this, of course, is very preferable to a lot of people. They actually like the fact that this is only one shot, whereas Pfizer and Moderna requires at least a 21-day waiting period between shot 1 and shot 2. And also, the side effects of Moderna and Pfizer second shot are said to have been more severe. High fevers, body aches, basically flu-like symptoms for about a day. Personally, I had the Pfizer vaccine, and after my second day, my second shot, it was like I had the flu, but it only lasted about 16 hours, and then I was good. Medicine helped, and so did a little bit of Powerade. But the Johnson & Johnson one also is less effective in the end run, whereas Moderna and Pfizer are somewhere in the 90% effective against COVID. The Johnson & Johnson, I believe, is somewhere in the 70%, 70 to 80%, which is still really good and actually very typical for most vaccines, including things like the flu shot. So this is still nothing to scoff at. That 70 to 80% is still insanely better than 100% effective, 100% able to get the virus, which is where you're at without a vaccine. Now, obviously, I am very pro-vaccine. I am pro-science. So I, of course, encourage everybody, if you are able to and physically able to get the vaccine so that things return to normal. Being autoimmune compromised myself or immunocompromised myself, I do understand that there are some people that cannot receive the vaccine for multiple reasons, and if that's the case, we get the vaccine so you don't have to. That's how this works out. So again, the FDA and the CDC have basically chose to pause giving out the Johnson & Johnson vaccine due to adverse reactions in 6 women. And it's very important that this is 6 women because Dr. Fauci is going to bring up a few things about this. So now there's been a lot of controversy about this because as of right now, I believe we're somewhere near almost 7 to 8 million Johnson & Johnson vaccines have been administered, and only 6 people specifically have had an adverse reaction. And all 6 of those people had the same adverse reactions, which is blood clots. Now, these blood clots are not life-threatening, although they are still bad. They are still not life-threatening. This isn't, it isn't like they're dying. AstraZeneca was an example where a couple of people had severe reactions, and some, in fact, ended up dying. But again, it was a very small percentage. So again, this is 6 people out of almost 7 million, which means you have less than a 1 in 1 million chance of being this person. And the fact that it seems to be only affecting women so far means that you have an astronomically even larger way to basically have this adverse reaction. Now, there are a few things that they're looking at. So one of the things is that because these women are all in a very specific age, they're in a very specific age group, they're saying that it might be hormonal in relation to things like childbearing age, so like ovulation or anything like that. And they also think that birth control might play a role. None of these things are verified. They're just saying that these are things they're looking into because they seem to be the common things, the common thread between these 6 women. But none of this information is released. We do not know if they are of childbearing age, if they were identifying female as birth. We also don't, or signed female at birth. We also don't know if they're taking birth control. We also don't know if they're taking all the same birth control. So there's still a lot of factors in play, but so far these are the familiar things that they're seeing. So, again, they're saying that this is less than 1 in a million. It is literally less than a 1 in a million chance. We know this so far. Now, could it be that others are just unreported? Possibly, but very, very, very unlikely. The CDC, the FDA, the government in general are keeping track of these sort of things very strictly because this is a major vaccine rollout. This is a worldwide vaccine rollout that everybody is keeping track of, and we want to know these sort of adverse reactions, and it is very important. Now, I'm not going to go into whether I think pausing the vaccine rollout was a good idea, specifically for this small amount of adverse reactions, because again, I am not a scientist that deals with this sort of thing, so I don't know. Now, do I know that this is going to cause an uprising in anti-vax misinformation? Absolutely, and it already has. A lot of people are already using this to be like, see, I'm not going to be a guinea pig in some brand new vaccine. And although it's true these vaccines are new in terms of their rollout, they're not exactly new in terms of research. In fact, these vaccines, and mRNA vaccines, the way that these work, have been around for quite some time, in fact, and these have been studied for a very long time. These just got the fast approval because they didn't go through the typical long process that they would normally go through, which would be years. And in fact, Donald Trump, to his credit, it hurts me to say that. To his credit, he pointed this out, that this was fast-tracked, and this normally takes years to do this. Now, Operation Warp Speed, although not as effective as he claimed it would be, and as effective as it should be, as we've seen earlier this year, where we're now at almost 200 million doses, well before the 100 million mark we had claimed for, is that it could have gone a lot faster, but we did skip a lot of the long-term testing. Though normally the way this would work is you would do a small test group for an extended period of time, say 6 months to 1 year. Then you would watch them for 6 months to 1 year and be like, hey, did anything happen to you? And then after that, if nothing happened, great, you go to a larger subject, and so on and so on and so forth. Now, again, another thing to point about this Johnson & Johnson reaction is that the reaction occurred anywhere between 6 and 13 days after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Anyone after that seems to have no adverse reaction. Anyone before that seems to have no adverse reaction. So again, not only is it 1 in a 1 million chance, but also it is in a very tight period of time. It's within 1 week period of time that you could potentially have seen any sort of reaction of this, and a very specific reaction. So is this cause for alarm? No. Is this cause for further study? Absolutely. Completely warranted, and I think this is great. I think it's great that these sort of things are coming up. It's unfortunate that these 6 women had to endure this and go through blood clots. However, just putting it out there, you are more likely to receive blood clots from birth control than you are from this. So do what you wish with it. Now, again, I am not a scientist. I'm not somebody who studied this. I am merely putting out there all the information that the CDC, the FDA, and Dr. Fauci have said about this. And then I have stated the things that are about my opinion. But again, should you get vaccinated? Absolutely. If you are able to, if you are medically able to, go and get vaccinated. It is the way we fight this. If you are unable to get vaccination, well, hey, I went and got vaccinated for you, so you can, go back to Target again. I would appreciate that. Maybe not Target specifically. Go to your local shop, whatever it is. But anyway, so thanks a lot for listening, everyone. Thanks a lot for being safe. Thanks a lot for wearing your mask over this past year. Thanks a lot for washing your hands and social distancing and staying the course. It's not going to go away this year. Just because you have the vaccine does not mean everything's going to go back to normal. Just because 121 million people have received a vaccine so far does not mean that things are going to go back to normal right away. It will take some time, so please get used to wearing a mask and, buy a cool anime one or something. That would be the way to do it. Or, one of those cool light up ones that Razer seems to be wanting to put out. But anyways, thanks a lot for listening, everyone. We'll be back on Friday with our weekly